Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you some of my plants and my garden today, so stick around because I got a lot to show you. Now, I apologize that it's been so long. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to show you my plants, and you've missed out on quite a bit of my grow, and I'll explain that as we're going along. But I'll tell you, I'm going to show you outdoors more of my flowers today, which I know is a little different, but this summer I've been going crazy with gardening, and a big part of my gardening this year has been beyond fruits and vegetables and cannabis and mushrooms, and I've gotten into just straight up flowers. So I'll share some of that with you, and I'll show you some more of my garden today. But a lot of my gardening's done out on my back porch. This is my newest addition. This is a big hibiscus bush. I'll get closer, I'll show each of these as well. I am very fortunate to have a big backyard, and so we'll start here. This is a butterfly bush. This grows into a pretty big bush. I have it in a container right now, and it gets these really pretty purple flowers that attract butterflies. And I have a ton of milkweed down in my yard that I've grown. My wife, my soon-to-be ex, is she's fascinated with monarchs, and we turned our last place into a monarch way station, and I got a grant to plant hundreds of milkweed for her all over the property, so we really enjoy that. So we've got a lot of milkweed, and I'm adding more plants that attract butterflies as well. This is growing out of a bag. I got it at a greenhouse. It's an accent plant, and a lot of others. I don't remember for sure what it's called, but this thing grows like crazy. These vines like this with these little heart-shaped leaves that are just really cool, I think. But it's so easy to propagate. You cut a little vine off. I'll show you some I have in a tub. Within a day or two, these things have roots, like long roots, and lots of them. I wish cannabis cloned as easily as these things propagate. But here's one that I planted off of there. So I've been giving them as gifts to people. I just propagate them, put them in a little pot, and they make these cute little gifts. So that's been fun. This is a petunia that I propagated and planted. Is not doing quite as good, but these are some herbs. These are chives. Oh, shoot. This is a green bean plant that I broke this morning. I didn't realize I broke it. I was trying to twist it around my pole here. Yikes. I can tell already this is not, it's not as sturdy, as strong as a cannabis plant, so I don't know if that's going to make it. I was thinking I'd do some tape around it, but even with tape, it's just so flimsy. It's top heavy is the problem. Maybe I can rest it back over here, and it will strengthen up. It will probably survive now, actually, and it will grow. It's just going to have it's going to develop a big knot right where that kink is, and it'll grow upwards. Oops, shoot, did it again. Now it'll have two kinks, but it'll be very strong because of that, and it'll grow upwards. It'll be able to support a lot of beans, but its growth will be stunted for a few extra days now because of this. Just so you know, same type of thing as with cannabis plants. It's the same type of training as like low stress training, but just a different type of plant. So you see a lot of the same training techniques I use on my cannabis plants, I use on my vegetable plants, I use on my flowers. They work, on all sorts of plants. This is a little tomato plant that I brought up to the porch. I'll just grow in this container. Had so many of them that I started from seed with my daughters. This is a petunia. I planted a bunch of petunias this year. Very, very pretty flowers. I think I got wavy petunias. They're developing a lot of seeds now, but they're still flowering like crazy. These are little seed pods, and they're filled with these teeny tiny black seeds. They're so small. This is a lavender I started from seed. This is probably the hardest thing I grew all season, was lavender. And this is probably at least 2 months old, and it's only this big, and 2 months from when it popped from the ground, from the seed. That took, just to pop from the seed, took at least a month, and I thought they were all dead, and they eventually popped up. But you can see these little ones have been in here for weeks, and that's all the bigger they are. And I wasn't sure if they were going to survive. They're sturdy once they get going, thankfully, but my goodness, these things are hard to grow. Lavender. This is another lavender bush. Will be anyways. These are little teeny lavender plants that I have in here that are growing. And again, this one here is several weeks old, and it is, each leaf there is probably the size of an eraser on the back of a pencil. Incredibly small and very hard to grow. Lavender. I don't remember the name of this plant, this flower, but it has these like little puffy light purple balls that it gets on the end of it that are really pretty. Then these bright blue accent flowers. I don't know the name of these either, but I just love them. And you can't tell, the video doesn't do it justice, but they just are so vibrant. They really pop. This is basil, actually. It's been doing terrible. It's just been overwatered, and then the bugs keep getting it like crazy. This is another petunia. So look at this. This is my favorite one. These are wavy petunias, but the color on this is just insane. This one doesn't even do it justice, but it's this light purple, and then it's got these dark purple veins that go all throughout it. And my God, they're just gorgeous. So those are wavy petunias. I've got purple, this light purple, then a really dark purple, and then a pink, like a hot pink as well, that I'll show you. These are strawberries. I got a bunch of strawberries down in my garden, but figured I'd do a container up on the porch so I can pick some strawberries while I'm up here. Doing pretty good. They like to crawl out, you know, and they creep, and they put out runners, and then they just kind of expand that way. And so I wasn't sure how they'd do in this container. They sell them this way a lot in the store, so I figured it'd do okay, but it took it a little while to really start taking to this soil, but once it did, it turned happy. So you can tell it's got these dark green leaves. It's flowering. This is going to be a strawberry here. I had some other buds, but something ate them. Thankfully, the bugs have not been terrible. This one I'm probably the most excited about out of all my flowers this year, and I'll share with you why. This is a cutting that I started. I was given this by my mother-in-law. It was just looked like a hard branch. I actually cut it in half to make two cuttings. I gave half to my wife, and I took half. We were going to race to see who could propagate it the fastest, and it was going to be a 3-year race is what we were calling it, because they say Plumeria, this is called a Plumeria tree. Plumeria take typically 3 years to root into flower when you have a cutting. So the first year it typically starts to root, the second year is developing all the roots, and the third year it will finally flower. But I just happen to be an incredibly awesome gardener or something, because it bloomed the first year, and my God, is it beautiful. It's just this incredible looking flower. The shape is just incredible that it would come out that way. And then you can't tell here, but it's got these yellow, or it's bright yellow with white around the edge and just really light pink around the edge too. That's beautiful. And what's even more incredible about this plant, I wish you could smell it, because it is such a beautiful fragrance. In Hawaii, this is a Hawaiian tree. They grow huge, and they're just covered in these plumeria flowers, and they just smell so beautiful. But they're all over the place in Hawaii. These flowers get really big. This is a small one, but they get really big, and then they're all over the place. They smell beautiful, and they're these thick, beautiful leaves. But yeah, they're supposed to take 3 years to root and then to flower. Mine has been going, I don't know, maybe 6 months. We got flowers, baby. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. I knew it would root and it would do well. I started this in my grow tent before I moved it outside. I've had it outside maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and wasn't sure how it would do outdoors, but she is like the sun. So this is my Plumeria plant. Moving on. This, if you don't know, this is just a simple aloe vera plant. Use this for sunburns and stuff like that. Break off the tips, and there's it's aloe vera on the inside. Pretty straightforward. These grow in a pretty interesting way. You can see here there's a little sprout coming out of the middle, and they kind of spread open, and then a new one will pop up out of the middle and grow up, and then it'll just keep kind of expanding on itself that way. So kind of neat. This one, again, wasn't sure how it would do in the climate here where I'm at, but it's not like it's cold or anything, but summers are fine. It's doing just fine. This is a butterfly bush. I wish there were some flowers on it because I saw it at the store and just had to buy it. It's a cool looking bush on its own, but it gets these big, beautiful purple flowers that are unlike anything I had seen before, so I just had to get it. And then just did a bunch of these accent flowers around the outside. I don't remember what they're called, but have purple ones, and then some of these other ones. See if there are any left. I don't see any, but they're a pretty cool bright orange color. So that's my butterfly bush. This one I'm really excited about. I haven't had any blooms for a few weeks, but it's been regrowing. If you follow my cannabis content and if you've seen my latest training video, you'll know what topping is, and you'll know what I mean when I say that I've topped this baby multiple times. You can see it's got a really good base with a bunch of branches down here. And so each one of these is kind of its own stem and comes up individually. So I've been topping each one of these, and you can see just like on a cannabis plant, same type of thing happens. These light green spots are new growth areas, which on a cannabis plant it would be like new bud spots usually. But these are going to be new flowering spots. So new spots, hopefully, ideally, that will grow up and get buds and have flowers on them. So that is my hibiscus bush. A couple others to show you real quick. This is a morning glory, my morning glory station, I guess I should say. The idea is that I'd have morning glories growing out of these baskets. They'd climb up here. Morning glories are kind of like vining flowers. They creep and crawl up. So it crawled up here, and I just wanted it to overtake this shepherd's hook, which it's slowly doing. You can see there are a bunch of marigolds in here too, but on that back chain, that is my morning glory. I think they're purple. We'll find out when they bloom, but it's slowly but surely doing its thing and climbing up. And then there's another marigold. Marigolds are these orange, really festive looking kind of flowers. They get orange, yellow, and red. They're really pretty. But the reason I have so many marigolds, you'll see down in my vegetable garden too, is because they smell really, really bad, at least to animals and mammals in particular. So if you put them throughout your garden, it will detract, it will keep other animals away. So I have a bunch of squirrels and chipmunks that like to eat my vegetables. It keeps them out of there. It works really well. Works for deer, other mammals too. So if you have a problem with animals in your garden eating your vegetables, my tip for you is to get a bunch of marigolds, plant them all throughout your garden, and you'll see in my garden down here, I've got marigolds all over. It really works to keep the animals out, and you get the added benefit of just having an extra beautiful, colorful garden. Let's see some more. These are the hot pink petunias. Look at that color. Just the fact that nature is able to produce that on its own in this beautiful shape of a flower that comes out of a bloom on a plant after growing for weeks or months from the sun is just incredible. It's just incredible. So anyways, those are my petunia baskets. And then I have one more big one up here I'll show you. I got this one 2 days ago. This one's a little sentimental to me. This is a Dahlia bush. It's a bulbing flower and takes a long time to grow, but it grows these really huge flowers that are just so intricate, and they have these little teeny petals all over them, and you have to wait and see the other ones that grow on this. But they're these speckled, it's like light purple with dark purple speckles all over it. I don't remember what it was called. Let's see here. Dahlia Go-Go Speckled Pink. So just a speckled dahlia. But one of the most beautiful flowers I've seen. And I say that a lot probably, but I really, honest to God, mean it. It's a beautiful flower. So the goal here in the next day or two, All the same tips and tricks I use with my cannabis plants, I use on my flowers and my vegetables too. So I'm going to be transplanting this. As you can tell, it's grown out of its pot. It needs more room to grow. Giving it more soil and more space is going to allow more room for the roots to develop, which is going to allow it to produce more energy and allow it to grow more, so it's going to get bigger. So I'm putting it in this big pot. You can see probably double the size of the one that it's in now, which means it's going to have a heck of a lot more space, and this baby is just going to grow like crazy, and hopefully I'll get a lot more of those purple buds. Since this is a bulbing flower, it grows from bulbs in the ground. You can grow it continuously. So the reason this is sentimental for me is because one of the ways I first started growing flowers was with my great grandma, actually. I grew up in a small farm town in the Midwest, and she was known in our area, in our region, as a Dahlia lady because she had the biggest Dahlia garden around. It was huge, and my brother and I helped her plant them every year. And then every fall, you go out and you dig up all the bulbs, put them in a bag, stick them in the basement all winter, let them dry up, and they're good to go next season, and you can use them over again. So every season, we would just reuse and recycle the same Dahlia bulbs, add a few more maybe, but we're just reusing the same bulbs over and over, and then you can split the bulbs so you have even more as they grow, and it continues to be like a never-ending process. So you just have an eternal amount of these beautiful dahlias. So that is in memory of my great grandma. I miss her, and she's a big reason why I'm so passionate about gardening, and one reason I got into flowers this summer. So those are a little bit, I got more to show you, but I'll do a few more videos. That's a little bit of my fun and what I've been up to the last few weeks and last couple of months as I've been gardening. My next video, we're gonna get down off the porch. We'll go out to my vegetable garden. You can see down there covered in hay. We'll go through the tomatoes, we'll go through the peppers, we'll go through the squash, through the eggplant, the strawberries, the carrots. What else do I got down there? I don't know, all sorts of junk. But stick around. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Do me a big favor. Actually, this helps me out a lot, you guys. I need to know if you like this content, aside from just the cannabis and the mushroom content. Do you like seeing my other gardens? Do you like seeing my flowers like this? Do you like seeing my vegetable gardens? If you do, let me know. Do me a big favor and give me a thumbs up on this video. It'll let me know to continue making this. If you don't like it, leave me a comment and tell me why, and I will be sure to take that into consideration as we move forward. Thank you guys so much. Hope you're having a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.